Can this team win the playoffs? And if so, what's that going to look like?
Any team that can pack their defense and their run game can win in the playoffs. But when you look at this team and the inconsistent play and their ability, I mean, uncanny ability to shoot themselves in the foot, it's hard to imagine consistent play for weeks on end. The
This
49ers are
team is the
now
Cheddar
in.
Bob of football teams. Remember Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile?
Yes, shot
They
himself.
are the Cheddar Bob.
They
Sorry.
are.
I'm not going to explain the reference, but if you know, you know.
Hey, 8 Mile, 8 Mile,
8
baby.
Mile.
It's very maddening. It's very frustrating for someone who likes to get themselves up for a game. It is heartbreaking to watch. I don't have faith now that we are in a must-win situation. Must win against the Texans, must win against the Rams. Sure, could they drop one and potentially make the playoffs? Okay, maybe, like a 50-50 shot, but legitimately, if they want in, they need to win both of these remaining games to stay in control of maintaining a playoff spot. And then obviously stay winning in the playoffs. So this team and its inability to win more than 3 games in a row this season doesn't inspire a hell of a lot of confidence. Can they win some games in the playoffs? Yes. When they play well, they are a very difficult team to beat. Will they? Tough to say.
I mean, they're gonna need their quarterback to do a lot better than what they're gonna need. Ambry Thomas, Josh Norman, Mitch Wishnowsky, Robbie Gould, Jimmy Garoppolo to really, really, really step up. Those guys. Because honestly, Tom Compton's killing it right now. I'm not worried about Tom Compton. I'm not worried about Daniel Brunskill. I'm not worried about this team is stacked, but they need Mitch Wishnowsky, Robbie Gould, Jimmy Garoppolo, Ambry Thomas, Josh Norman, hopefully Emmanuel Mosley to come back. Those guys all got to step up. Otherwise, they are just sort of like tragically undermanned at critical spots despite a loaded roster. Not tragically, but unfortunately.
Tragically at the cornerback position, that's for sure. I would say they also need Elijah Mitchell to come back because to me, that's the identity. Run first team. And they need a back that Shanahan has faith in order for him to truly get into his bag and get creative with the play calling. It has to be a run central game plan. You have to be shooting for that 55-45 ratio of rush to pass and not the other way around. I don't want to see game plans coming out in the playoffs where it's like, hey, Jimmy's going to take advantage of this porous secondary. No, if he can do that on specific clutch third downs, great. But let's put the ball in the running back's hands and into Debo's hands coming out of the backfield. I have more confidence when that is the game plan coming in.
I agree. And that can lead to some wins in the playoffs. But really, when was the last time a team like that was they won with their running backs, won a Super Bowl? Usually in modern football, you win a Super Bowl with your quarterback at a certain point. So, you can make a
pretty compelling argument for Leonard Fournette having the biggest role on the Tampa Bay Bucks in their most recent Super Bowl victory.
He definitely did close out that Super Bowl victory. He definitely, but I'm saying they had Tom Brady. I'm talking about a team that's we don't trust our quarterback. He's a game manager. We're going to live and die by the success of our running backs. Usually those teams don't win the Super Bowl, even if they.
I agree. I think the unique position for the 49ers is when they are run first, for whatever reason, that takes the pressure off of Jimmy Garoppolo, and he seems to be able to hit those clutch third down completions, even when they're must-need throws that you would think he would fold under that pressure. Because the run game is going and his confidence is boosted by that, he seems to maintain his mental state.
Brandon says, folks, can we talk about Tom Compton's shocking 5-game stretch that might put McGlinchey out of a job? Cut might give the extra cash to a new right guard. No, they already picked up his 5th-year option. It's 100% guaranteed.
Yep. Locked.
And Tom Compton is better than him. I feel so bad because I've spent a lot of time on YouTube making fun of Tom Compton for no reason. And he's good. I really sincerely apologize. He's really good.
I think I remember a video entitled "Tom Compton is the biggest mistake on this roster" or something like that. So I like you eating crow here. It takes a big man, Grant.
Tom, sorry. I'm sure your wife probably saw that. If you have kids, I am sorry, and my apology is as loud as the criticism was. You are a baller, and I think you should be the starting right tackle next season. I think you are definitely better than Mike McGlinchey. Good for you. San Fran 82 says, I would love to hear the true feelings of our captains in the post-game conference. Instead, I feel it diluted. Hey, man, they're the ones that campaigned for Jimmy. It's a little late now to say it's Jimmy's fault. It's what you wanted.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are bailing on it. But again, if we could get inside the locker room, we'd get a better glimpse of how they're actually feeling than in front of the podium.
Thomas Tyler says, I want to break into Jimmy's house dressed as a linebacker and steal some of Jed's money back on principle. Even if he's home, he will never see me. He's wearing number 54. That's hilarious. He'll never see me. Ryan says, Jimmy G is the Josh Norman of the offense. Love the content, fellas. Said I'd never pay to comment. I did good work. Sorry, Ryan. I appreciate all the donations. I wish I could answer every question, but there's been like thousands so far. Jimmy is the best chance to win because of the locker room. Even if Trey and he is better than Jimmy, the other players might lash out. That is a very real thing. Jimmy has the belief of it, or did, and that's powerful. That's what he's always had here.
And the head coach and in the front office deserve responsibility for propping him up in that position. They committed to this strategy, and the locker room followed in line.
Christian says it feels we are largely missing that energy and fire Coach Saleh consistently provided this team. We need someone to step up and fill that void. Yeah, that's interesting. D'Amico was stoic and professional. Saleh was out of his mind, right? He had a totally different personality on the sideline during games. He was very calm and contemplative in the press conferences. And then on the game day, he had to be physically held back. He had to be physically held back. And that was interesting because Kyle's very low ebb. He's very lugubrious. Lugubrious? Lugubrious. Is that the word? I don't think that's the word. Maybe not the word. Anyway, he's something. Low ebb.
You lost me on that one, so.
Sorry.
But you went to UCLA, Grant, and I did not. And so I would think your vocabulary is more impressive.
I'm going to take it back. I can't even spell it. I think I used the wrong word. I think my dad's over there being like, that's not what you think it means. Anyway, let's just move on. Sacramento Mike says, I was watching the game at a steakhouse and spilt my gin. That's Jimmy's fault. And my bill was overpriced. That's his fault, too, because Steakhouse saw his contract and said if he could be overpriced, we can, too. Thank you, Sacktown Mike. That's all on Jimmy, man. He's really set a bad precedent for the entire – he's a bad role model. I blame a lot of the country's problems on Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's fair to say.
It's why we're so divided.
It's true. Don says will be hard to hide those corners in the playoffs, and Jimmy too easy to beat, just harass and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I know. I think that, yeah.
If the pass rush doesn't get home, this defense is going to struggle against most of those playoff teams.